Hey, hello. My name is Quatechia and you are watching Quatechia Creates. Hello, besties! In today's video, we will be going over a fun tutorial on how you can add glitter to your snow globes and not take forever to wait for it to gas out. Gas off? Degas. You don't have to wait forever for it to degas before sealing it up and shipping it off. It is a quick, easy, fun tutorial and you don't need a whole bunch of supplies. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this video. So we're going to get started with this Starbucks tumbler. I drilled the holes off screen. We're going to clean it off with some 60% alcohol, and I'm just using a paper towel and I'm going to wipe it all over. Next, using a condiment bottle, I am going to squirt some of this bright tone into the tumbler. Now our goal is to coat the entire inside of the tumbler with the bright tone, and we're going to do that by simply turning the tumbler as you see me doing right here. If you start to see a whole bunch of air bubbles start to form, then that just means that you need to add a little bit more fluid in your tumbler. So for the style that we're going for, we are simply trying to adhere our glitter to the sides of our wall. As mentioned before, I'm using Bright Tone from the Crystal Company, but you could also use Extreme Protection. You can use the polyurethane that you can purchase from Walmart. There's a lot of different methods that you can go about getting your glue stuck onto your wall. But after you have completely coated the inside of your tumbler, you can go ahead and drain it. Now in theory, you could probably just sit the cup on top of the little cup that I'm draining it into. However, I was just a little impatient and I didn't want to wait. Now I know I mentioned at the very beginning that you don't have to worry about your tumbler degassing. However, air bubbles will still be produced and you're going to have to work those air bubbles out. And when I say work out the air bubbles, what I did was I just rotated the tumbler like kind of in a circle back and forth, just so that I can get some movement within the walls of the tumbler and it eventually work the air bubble out. Look, I don't know how best to explain that, but yeah. Once you get to the bottom, it is kind of hard with this little area like in the bottom because you can also get some trapped air down there, so just be mindful of that area down there. But at the same time, you don't really have to worry about the bottom area. Well, I mean, that's the conclusion I came to because I'm just gonna cover it with glitter. Like, I spent so much time, it seems like trying to make sure like I had no air bubbles down there, that I was just over it. But eventually I did just end up sitting the cup down and letting it drain for only about 5 minutes though, and then I went in to tape my tumbler. So now I'm just gonna add some painter's tape around the bottom of my tumbler so that I don't splash glitter all over the place. Today's glitter is going to be Rozay, and I purchased this from a Glitterful. And we're just simply going to pour the glitter inside. I am using a fine cut glitter. You can use whatever you please. I just felt like the fine glitter was going to be the easiest to work with. So you can basically pour as much glitter in here as you want to and just kind of like shake it around because you're just trying to get the glitter on the outside of the walls. And any excess we will dump out. Now y'all look, ain't she pretty? Now once you're certain that you have some full coverage, you can go ahead and shake some of the glitter out, but I would advise that you not be too aggressive with knocking out extra glitter like this. You don't need to tap on it and all that stuff. Don't do that yet. Give it some time to dry so that you're not knocking your glitter loose that's trying to dry onto the tumbler. You know what I'm saying? The bright tone typically only takes about 4 hours to dry. However, being that it's like such an enclosed space and there's not much airflow to that area, I did allow 48 hours for it to dry. I would have only allowed 24, but I had other stuff to do. Once your tumbler is dried though, you can go ahead and clean off the bottom. I'm using isopropyl alcohol and a paper towel to wipe the bottom. Then I'm going to use these glue dots to cover up my holes. I purchased these from the Dollar Tree and they're really easy to use. You just peel off the white backing and then you take it and put it on the hole, apply some pressure. You can kind of smooth out the adhesive glue situation and then you just simply pull up the clear tab. Now I did end up using 1 on the smaller hole, and I used a total of 3 on the larger hole. You probably don't need all of that, but I'm extra. Once you've got it sealed, your hole sealed off, you can go in and start making that glitter butt. And I am going to use some grand finale that I had from a previous project, and I'm also going to use this glitter that I dumped out of the tumbler, because you know we're saving money over here, like that's always the goal. So I'm going to use this recycled glitter. It's the same that's in the inside, and I'm going to mix it with a popsicle stick after I break it in half, of course. And we're only going to use half of it, because I mean, what's the point in using a whole popsicle stick for this little teeny cup, you know what I'm saying? Now once you're done doing all the mixing, you can just go ahead and pour it onto the bottom of your tumbler. I did have little clumps from the glitter that, you know, came out of the inside of the tumbler, so just be mindful of that should you choose to use your recycled glitter like me. Now the grand finale does start off white, but it does become clear. However, I did feel like I just did not have enough glitter, so I went ahead and I sprinkled some more glitter on the bottom. And you are also able to use UV resin to finish your bottoms. If you want to see how I use UV resin to finish off my tumbler, I'll leave that video link. Once you are done, you can wipe off the bottom rim of your tumbler. I just use my finger. You can use whatever you choose to use. Now here we are about 48 hours later. And it is completely dry. Now, like maybe about 6 hours into it, I did like press my finger into it and created a little divot. But other than that, it's really dry. It's really pretty. I wish I would have left it alone. However, I still can see like where I put the glue dots. So we're going to create another layer using the grand finale and the Rozay Glitter from Glitterful. And we're just simply going to take our grand finale and our Glitterful glitter, and we're just gonna mix it together until it gets to the consistency that we like. So I added glitter a lot, and not gonna lie, I ended up making it a little too thick, but I still like the way it turned out. You know, like it's got like a real authentic look to it, don't it? So this has about 4 to 5 coats of grand finale on there. I'm thinking it's about 4. This is also what it looks like after I put that second coat. So I really like it. Like it just looks like it has like, you know, character. I just love it. I really do. And now I'm simply going to dab a little on my finger, and I'm going to smooth it around, making sure I get everything. That's it. So you can recoat this every 2 hours, but that'll be the last one for me because I simply want my glitter covered. I am not trying to create a smooth base. As long as the glitter is beyond this area, then we don't have to worry about it having a wobbly bottom. All of the glitter is concentrated in that internal area, so you know what I'm saying. Now I'm going to take my permanent adhesive vinyl, layer them together, and then I'm going to use my transfer tape to apply it onto my tumbler. I do have another video where I go in more detail on how I create and cut the logo in different colors. I got this leopard print SVG from designbundles.net. I'll leave a link down in the description box. So I cut it using my Cricut Maker using permanent vinyl or 651, and I'm just going to apply this all over my cup in random locations. Once I was done laying all of my vinyl decals, I did unnecessarily tape off my lid. I wasn't sure if I was going to spray paint or not, so I just went ahead and taped it off. Next, I'm going to sand my lid, and I'm using any sanding block. I don't know what grit this is. It may be a medium or fine. It doesn't really matter. Just sand the lid until it's scuffed up and then wipe it off with some 60% alcohol. Today we will be using Crown Crystal's Rose Gold in a size SS20 to bling our lid. I have my wax pen or picker tool, and I have my crystal glaze glue. So we're simply going to squeeze out some glue onto the lid. I'm starting with the sides. And now we're simply going to pick up the bling end of the rhinestones with the wax tip of our picker tool and place it on our surface. her lid. So now once I have a few down, I'm gonna lay it on my table, and then I'm gonna use the pointy tip of my picker tool, which is the crystal katana, and I am going to press the stones into the table to create a straight line. Once I was done with the outside of my lid, I did lay that flat and I allowed it to dry for at least an hour. Now I'm gonna come in with the outer layer of the top of the lid, and I'm just gonna work my way from out to in until I get closer to the center. Once I got closer to the center, I did the center and worked my way back to eliminate any visible gaps in my stones. I hope that makes sense, because child, I did not record that part. And here is how our lid turned out. Absolutely gorgeous. And here is the final results. Isn't she beautiful? And you guys, that is it for this video. If you haven't already, go ahead, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. Until next time, bye bye.